All right, well then hello and welcome to another episode of Douglasville Impact, our community podcast. I'm Jason Post, and we've got another fun show coming at you here in our COVID-19 pandemic quadcast style. So we got some positive information, some positive news coming at you, some feel-good stuff. So hopefully to lighten everybody up during the current situation. So let's go ahead and introduce everyone on the screen. I'm not sure where exactly everyone is at this point. I've totally forgotten. But joining us today again is Ms. Allison Parker.
Hello.
Ms. Haley Chapman.
Hello.
And our special guest today from New Manchester High School, Mr. Trey Giddens.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So we got some fun stuff to talk about with Mr. Giddens. Got some really cool stuff that's been happening in this school year. This one-of-a-kind, awesome school year. But you guys still had some fun things happening, some really great opportunities for some things that you guys were able to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about that momentarily. But let's go ahead and knock out some news and information that we've got going on in and around the community. So let's start with Miss Allison Parker. What is going on, Miss Parker?
Hello there, everyone. Well, as we are returning back to normal off of COVID-19, the city is slowly trying to rephase back into normal operating procedures. So a few of you may know, but we started phase one of our opening on May 1st, where we had a limited opening of our city facilities. We are strongly implementing social distancing, so you will see some nice stickers in our lobby when you come in and at our finance desk that encourage everyone to stay 6 feet apart, similar to what you would see at Kroger or Walgreens or a store. So slowly opening up our facilities back up, and coming soon on June 1st, we will begin phase two, which will include our park facilities. So we will begin opening back up any of our playgrounds. Our walking trails have remained open, but also the buildings. At this time, we can't really speak as far as programming are concerned, as that is a park initiative, but it's definitely coming down the pipeline. And then our welcome center will be opening with limited operations on June 1st as well. Then in July, we'll begin phase three, where we will start reopening the Douglasville Conference Center and any of our spaces that accommodate public gatherings. So we're looking forward to seeing the faces of our citizens, but also still implementing social distancing and just remaining safe. So thank you all for your patience with this.
Yeah, lots of guidelines in place with all of those different phases. Obviously, we got all the social distancing guidelines, especially when we get to phase three and you're talking about public gathering spaces. There's a lot of different guidelines and stuff restricting, sizes and events and things like that. So a lot of information and details that have to do with each of those phases. So we'll have all that on our website with our whole reopening plan. Will be on the website shortly, outlining when things are opening, but also what guidelines we're putting in place to make sure everybody stays safe when they do come out. But we just want to get to the point where everybody can come out again and see each other from a safe distance.
Yes. So virtual high fives, virtual hugs, virtual everything. Yes. Thanks, Haley.
No problem.
Next up, the City of Douglasville Facebook page is introducing community ward groups, where we will be creating separate ward groups for all the respective wards here in the City of Douglasville. So that will be 5 ward groups. You are not required to be a resident. However, we do ask that if you're going to be commenting on complaints or suggestions, that you are a resident, so that is relevant to that area. But we're really looking forward to this. The goal is just to help connect our communities, grow new relationships, and support citizens in a way that's beneficial to you all. And so we realize that during this time, we've spent a lot more time on social media. And so we really want to come out of this productive and having new relationships. And so if you follow the City of Douglasville on Facebook, which is City of Douglasville GA, you will soon see those community ward groups. So we ask that you help us share them and tag your neighbors and your friends so that we can make these really thriving virtual groups, especially during all this going on.
Yeah. And those are going to be fun and exciting. And what I'm super excited about that is what we've also done is Webmaster Chris has worked with our GIS people at the county to also set up an interactive searchable ward map. Mm-hmm. It's also available through the website, and we'll have links available through the ward groups as well. Because a lot of people out there maybe aren't sure what ward they live in. or maybe aren't sure. I mean, they're or whether they're even in the city or in the county, you know, because
Right.
sometimes there's areas
County.
like I know you guys live like on the border
Yeah.
of the city and the county, where like you're in the county and your neighbor's in the city. So it's
Mhm.
not always super clear, right? So not everybody is always clear, because just because you have a Douglasville address doesn't mean you live in the city necessarily.
Correct.
So part of setting up the community groups is we set up that searchable ward map or interactive map, so you can follow the link, pin your address, it'll tell you exactly what ward you're in, who your representative is for that ward on our elected officials, or if you're in the county, it'll show that you're in, you know, outside of that and stuff. So a lot of good information as well. And then once you figure out what ward you're in, you can start kind of interacting with other people in your area and stuff, which will be fun. We'll have some
Absolutely.
fun stuff coming. And a lot of fun stuff coming for that one next week, right? We're gonna have some fun next week.
Yes, definitely looking forward to that. Another thing that's going to be helpful with our ward map, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jason, is to help citizens realize or figure out who they need to contact if there's a concern. So here at the city, we have a value that if you reach out to us, we're going to try to find the answer for you regardless, whether you're city or county. However, if you know whether you're city or county, it may help take out the middleman, which is us sometimes if you're trying to get in contact with the county. So I know sometimes the lines get blurred. You don't really know who you need to contact, whether you need to contact a council member or your commission chair. And so hopefully what this will do is kind of clear that up and help you realize, you know, these are my point of contact. But again, here at the city, we don't mind helping. If you come to us asking that question, we'll do our best to figure out who to connect you with.
Absolutely.
So that is that. Next, we are so excited about our upcoming farmers market. We have the date for the first market is June 9th from 3 to 7. Thanks for the claps, Haley. It's going to be at the Old Jail Precinct, 6730 Church Street here in Douglasville. And of course, you can park at our conference center parking deck, which is free of charge for everyone. And we're really excited. We're going to have some great vendors. And so if you follow us on Facebook, or if you go to the event page on our Facebook page, we're going to start spotlighting some of those vendors who will be joining us, and you'll be able to see what you can expect to take home, whether it's soaps, whether it's lettuce, fresh basil. We're really looking forward to all the vendors that are going to be joining us. We will be practicing social distancing. And we also have some vendors that are adjusting given COVID-19. So they're going to be allowing residents to make purchases in advance and pick the items up at the farmers market. So it's more like a drive-through for that specific vendor. So we'll detail all that information on the farmers market event on the City of Douglasville Facebook. So that's that. And then two more things, and then I'm rolling the ball over to Haley. So if you've been driving around Douglasville, whether it's at the Tributary, maybe past our conference center, or even if you've had a chance to look at Oatmeal Plaza, hopefully you've seen some Douglasville Love Our Grad signs, and that was a campaign created by Visit Douglasville and our Welcome Center. And we've seen a lot of graduates out there taking pictures, and we absolutely love it. So we asked if you're out there taking photos, if you could tag City of Douglasville on Facebook and Instagram, and then also Visit Douglasville. We'd love to share those pictures and your successes to our page, and just really allow our residents to get behind you and our followers to get behind you and to congratulate you, especially given all that's going on. So be sure to tag us in those photos. And then last but not least, we would like to send a special kudos to Zoe McFall. She was featured on E! News for their Feel Good Friday. Zoe is a nurse in California, but she is originally from here in Douglasville. Her dad is Steve McFall, who's the senior pastor of Central Baptist Church, and her mom is Stephanie McFall, who's the program coordinator of Keep Douglasville Beautiful. So, I mean, she's just all wrapped up here in Douglasville. So we're really proud of Zoe. We're so glad that she's been able to just serve her community and serve nationally in California and represent Douglasville in such a great light. So thank you so much, Zoe, for being a hometown hero.
That need to do some applause there, some virtual applause.
So yes, that is all the news I have. I will toss it back to you, Jason.
All right, and I will kick it right on over to our Chief Happiness Officer today. Is that what we're going with?
Well, she can have it.
Yeah. Well, it could be
positive, fun stuff.
It could be like Chief Happiness Fun Officer.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Work in progress.
Tune in next week for the official title. So our first piece of happiness and fun, wink, wink, is our Parks and Recreation Department is putting on a virtual Camp Funtastic, which will be from June 22nd to July 31st. And it's really cool. The kids will be receiving boxed activities and a guide, and they will have a weekly, I believe it's 2-hour time with their peers and the counselors. And there's going to be like special programs like arts and crafts, the junior chef program, STEM. So a lot of fun. And the campers will get t-shirts designed by me. So super fun. But you can register for that at douglasvillega.gov registration. And I believe registration ends on June 6th. So you want to make sure you get into that deadline because it will be a lot of fun. Very much, looking forward to that. So another deadline that's coming up is the Douglas County Dining Card. I believe that ends in just a few days. So you want to make sure you get yours. For just $20, you get like a slew of special offers. I have mine actually right here for those who are on YouTube. I'm super excited. But 100% of the proceeds will go towards Douglas Strong Relief Fund. And so you get like farmer's table, you get a free slice of cake, Hudson's Hickory House, you get a free app. So just really awesome rewards. And then obviously going to an amazing, cause. And for those who don't know actually about the Douglas Strong Relief Fund, it provides daily meals from our local restaurants to feed healthcare workers and public safety workers on the front line at a Wellstar Douglas Hospital. So really awesome. And so far they have provided 12,000 meals and raised over $25,000. So
Wow.
I think I need to do an applause as well for that. Yeah, I'll do a real one as well. But really awesome, great cause, and then obviously, lots of great rewards, and it's good till the end of the year too.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of resources too, another good one is the local food pantries, like the pantry and the Warehouse of Hope. I just wanted to mention that they're super well stocked and they've done a really great job of adapting to the times. So they're, I believe, all drive-through now, so you don't have to worry about coming in. If you're concerned about anything, they just reach out to them and they will definitely help you out. But
yeah, and then that's all good stuff. And then I know the city and the county both. We're updating the area of our website today. I was working on it today, outlining all kinds of services like that: the food pantries, the Warehouse of Hope, things like that are those community service, kind of social service, charity, nonprofit organizations that are out there available for the community and citizens to connect with to get help when they need help, especially right now with COVID-19 going on. And they've all adapted really well to be able to continue to serve and to step up and things like that. So we'll have all those. We've got those resources going up on the website. Like I said, the city's got a page, the county's got a page with all the same resources as well. So you can find links to all those and their contact information and lots of good stuff. So if you need something, there's somebody here that's willing to step up and help. So
That's right.
it's awesome. And one of the really happy news things is that this is officially an award-winning podcast now. Woo! This podcast has won the Communicator Awards 2020 Award of Excellence for Podcast in Government. So we joined the ranks of fellow winners like Bank of America and ESPN Films. So just saying.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're trying to get like you,
Producer
Mr.
Steve in the
Giddens.
background there who makes it all work and happen.
Yes. Producer Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, Producer Steve.
So we're really excited and happy about that and very proud.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
And,
yeah.
Another thing that we should be proud of locally is our own InTone Nation. We just want to say how happy and proud we are that they did an amazing performance on Facebook's graduation 2020. I mean, that was fantastic. And how cool is that?
No, it was very, very cool. We were super excited when we got asked, and the product was so much better than I think we hoped for. So we were super honored and excited as well.
It was very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. So I definitely want to hear more. So I'm going to give it back to Mr. Post.
Awesome. So the good stuff, good, positive, fun stuff. So yeah, let's jump right in and talk with Mr. Giddens then, because like you said, we were talking a little bit about intonation. So Mr. Giddens, why don't you just start off by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about you, a little bit about InTone. So you're the is it choir director? Is it music director? What is your official title there?
Yeah, so whatever you want to call me. I'm the choir teacher, the head of the vocal department, any of those things work at New Manchester High School, Fine Arts Magnet in Douglasville. I've been lucky enough to kind of create the program from the ground up. I was one of the first in the first kind of class of teachers to be afforded the opportunity to teach at New Manchester High School. And there's only a handful of us left there now. But it's been a really cool experience to start when there's just, bare walls and nothing in the room, and then kind of, build a program and kind of just really watch it kind of grow and flourish and kind of take on sort of the personality of its own, really. So it's that's me.
And you've done an amazing job, because the school hasn't been around that long. It's one of our newer schools, and the program itself is a newer program compared to a lot of the other schools. But what you've done, especially with InTone Nation, so we've had InTone Nation on some things that we've done. We've had them at the prayer breakfast a lot, and at a lot of different events. They've been our 4th of July Grand Marshals and our parade. So we've had them all over, but they aren't just well known here in Douglasville and Douglas County. You've taken them on and gained national recognition for what they do, right? So talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys have been able. Well, tell us first off about InTone Nation, that particular choir within all that you do, and then what you guys have been able to do with them and some of the recognition you guys have found.
Sure. So InTone Nation is a 13-member auditioned a cappella group, focusing mainly in pop a cappella, but we also do some musical theater, and we do some spirituals and gospel stuff, a little R&B, but mainly kind of in the pop realm is kind of where we focus. They are all comprised of vocal majors from New Manchester High School. So basically, as we have students to graduate and leave, then we will audition new crop. So right now, we've already sent out our audition requirements for next year, and kids are already preparing so they can be ready for auditions. Auditions typically happen the first 2 weeks of school, every year. And so, hopefully I'm sure it'll be a little different this go around. And so we'll have to kind of see, what kind of guidelines we have, with that coming up. But we're looking forward to sort of the new crop of InTone Nation that'll be, coming forth next year. But yeah, it's been a really crazy ride. We started a cappella at New Manchester High School when the first Pitch Perfect movie came out. And, I watched it and I said, we can do that. And so I picked apart the pool medley and then put it on a group of 5 girls that I had there. And that was Bella Voce. And so they were kind of born. And then a couple summers later, I was watching a Netflix series called Sing It On, where they follow a bunch of collegiate groups around going through the ICCAs, which is the International Championship of Collegiate Acapella. And so I looked them up on Google and found out they had a high school division. And so I said, we can do that. So we took our Bellas, which is our female acapella group, and our boys, and combined them together, and InTone Nation was born. And so InTone Nation's only been around for 4 years. And we went to our first competition and we won quarterfinals and got third in semifinals. And then the next year we went all the way to finals in New York, and the kids got to sing at Lincoln Center. And then, last year we went back and they won finals. And so they became the national champions. And then back in October, we went back and sang in Carnegie Hall at the international competition, and the kids came in second. internationally,
Wow.
and we're the only high school group in the actual competition. The rest were collegiate or professional groups. So really super proud of them. Since InTone Nation has kind of, come into what it is and kind of what it's known for now, it's definitely made me have to wear a bunch of different hats. Now I'm like tour manager and and travel agent and booking manager and all these things, and so it's been a really kind of demanding feat, but it's been a very rewarding feat at the same time to kind of watch these kids from Douglasville go and be recognized not only in Douglasville, but throughout Atlanta, throughout the state, and even throughout the country. It's kind of a really cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely is. And so you mentioned recognized throughout the nation. So based on what you guys did recently, we were able to watch Jennifer Garner say Douglasville, Georgia. So tell us a little bit about what you were able to do as part of the Facebook graduation process they just had.
Sure. So I was eating dinner one night and I got a phone call from an unknown number. And so I answered it, and it turned out to be Ben Brom, who is the Grammy award-winning a cappella composer, and he's arranged for Pentatonics. He's worked with Pitch Perfect movies, just doing lots of big things. And so he called and said that Facebook had asked him to come up with a collegiate and a high school group to perform for Facebook Live. And so he said instantly he thought of us. And so, we were really honored.
Nice.
And so we had about 5 days to kind of for the kids to learn the parts, for them to put it together and film kind of everything on our end. And then we submitted it to Sean's Ahmed, who is the co-founder of the acapella group Citizen Queen and Acapop's Kids. And him, along with a production company on Facebook, kind of put the video together that you saw on Facebook. And so for a lot of the kids, when it was on Facebook, was the first time they actually got to see the video. And so it was just a really cool, and we've had lots of, really nice things said and letters coming from people from all over, to our social media accounts and stuff, and they'll send little messages. And so it's just really been kind of a cool way, number one, for the kids to get to sing together one more time, being that our year got cut so short, and then also get their name out there and to let everyone else see, how talented and amazing these kids are.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely an amazing group of kids, and all that you guys have been able to accomplish. It's shocking to me that you said they was only 4 years old for the group, because it seems like we've been hearing them for longer than that, but they've just been that good for so long, for all 4 years. So
thank you.
So that's awesome. And clearly, like I said, everyone in the area in Douglasville and Douglas County at this point knows who InTone Nation is and recognizes them, and the fact that you guys have went on and gained that national and at this point international recognition is just amazing. We're all so proud of everything that you've been able to do, but and a lot of people see InTone Nation and they see that up front, but I want to point out, like you said earlier, I don't think a lot of people realize how much work, and I think every course director and choir teacher I've ever met has been about the same way, that it's everything. There's so much work that you put into it that nobody ever sees. So I think we need to appreciate all the work that you do in the background. Like you said, the tour manager, the booking, the travel, even my kids' course teachers right now, I mean, they're in middle school, and their course teachers are booking Disney trips and those overnight trips and stuff, and now they're having to deal with cancellations and refunds and figuring all that out, which is a whole nother deal. But I think choir teachers and course teachers and arts teachers in general don't get the appreciation maybe that they deserve for all the work that they put in and stuff. So definitely a virtual and real applause to Mr. Giddens for all that you've done. Yes. I think it's impressive. Definitely the program that you've built, but like I said, just the work that you put in. I think everyone needs to give all of their arts teachers and choir teachers a hand and a pat on the back and a thank you for all that you guys do that nobody realizes that. I mean, the kids that are in the group do, the parents do, but outside of that, I don't think everybody realizes all the work that you put in. And it's just 24 hours, probably, it feels like a lot of times, So
a lot of a lot of times it is. I joke, but a lot of times, and I'm not just speaking for myself, but like you said, for all arts educators and choir teachers in our county, throughout the state, everywhere, we, more times than not, we leave when it's dark and we get home when it's dark, and we basically come home to eat and go to sleep. But it's worth it when you kind of get to see, the kids blossom and just get to see and help, sort of maybe have a hand and letting them accomplish all that they can accomplish, and giving them sort of that avenue and outlet to do those, kind of really creative and amazing things.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we definitely appreciate you and all that you've done to make that happen. So thank you.
Thank you.
So beyond all of the awesomeness that is InTone Nation and the program that you built, tell us a little bit about. I know we've had a very unique and special year, this end of the year. So as a teacher, as an educator in general, how has this felt in general, having to deal with the digital learning, and especially as a course teacher? How did you guys? What does your curriculum look like as a digital learning curriculum? I mean,
sure. Well, it's kind of been a grieving process, and then a learning process, and a lot of different things at one time. Kind of starting out, you start to think, what are we going to do? Obviously, being a choral teacher, as a lot of fine arts teachers are, it's so hands-on, and it takes sort of the village or the full group to kind of come together, by definition of a choir in general, and just produce that sound and sort of that art form. And so it really becomes almost impossible to do, the way it should be done when you have to go through digital learning to do so. So, as a teacher, I went through this, I'd say the first 2 weeks, and it was just like, woe is me situation. What are we going to do? But, then you've got to make the best of the situation and rise to the occasion. And so, I started thinking outside the box of, how can my goal was just to keep my kids singing. It was unrealistic for them to be able to sing together, but if I could just keep them singing through the end of the year, is kind of, the mindset that I took off. So, it kind of became a project thing, lots of videos being sent in. There's a really cool thing on YouTube where people have just put backup melodies, and have no words written to them, and they'll say, okay, now write the song and finish what I've started. And so we've done a couple of those where I'll give the kids the backup, sort of melody, and the kids have to write their own, vocal line to it and the lyrics, and make a video and send it together. The kids started a Keep Your Head Up project where they sang Keep Your Head Up, and hashtagged it on social media. And so they all sing a chorus of that. And we, just to try to stay positive and keep everyone singing. We've worked on a song for graduation that's kind of in a digital choir format for our seniors, so that'll, hopefully be able to be played over the Jumbotron at graduation. And so we've been working on that. So it's really just been down to just keeping them singing, sort of any sort of project we can think about that just keeps them actively singing, has been the goal really at this point, and trying to have some sort of normalcy in a new, sort of unknown land that we're trying to, all trudge through together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. That's awesome. It's great that you're able to find those kind of resources. I think YouTube's kind of the unsung hero of a lot of this pandemic, because we found a lot of resources on YouTube as we're stuck at home, for that. And a lot of the teachers who have been putting out their curriculum are linking to YouTube instructional videos and things like that. So
sure,
you find what's out there to make it work. So
you have to.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we do appreciate all the work that you put in, and all the work that all of our educators and teachers have put in. Another big round of digital and real applause to all the teachers out there who have figured out a way to make education still work in a sudden environment where because this wasn't something you guys had planned toward. They just called you one day and said, all right, everybody's staying home.
Sure.
So it's kind of like you're forced to kind of jump in there and figure it out. But everybody did. My kids finished the year out. They still learned stuff. They finished out with some good grades. So I can't complain. The teachers really stepped up and did what they needed to do for the kids. So kudos to you. Kudos to all the teachers out there, and especially for all you've done with the program down there. We hope you stick around as the one of the last original New Manchester teachers. We hope you continue to be here for a long time to come. So,
absolutely. You know, it's New Manchester's kind of become, you know, home. And so, you know, it's a special place, and it's, you know, I've worked at other schools, but I can say that, you know, you feel welcome and feel like you're part of a family. And so it's, you know, it's definitely home.
yeah, it's a great school. It is. So that's awesome. Great to hear. We do appreciate, and I know we've probably went over our time. Producer Steve's back there going to wrap it up. But we did want to talk about all that stuff though, and all the amazing things that you've done down with the program and down with the InTone Nation and all the different groups and stuff that you're working down there. So kudos to you. Thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you to all the teachers out there for y'all's hard work. And does anybody else have anything else to bring to the table before we start to wrap up?
No, I'll send you my audition tape a little later.
Sounds good. We're ready.
No live auditions? That's probably for the best. All right. Well, I just want to thank you again for joining us, Mr. Giddens, and thank you to Haley and Allison as well for joining us. And thank you to everyone for tuning in and listening and watching, for all the fun things still going on. We just hope you continue to stay safe and join us next time on another Douglasville Impact.